Oh, Cody can't hear us, can he? Because you got headphones.
Yeah, I got headphones on. Yeah, he's in his own little world there.
A little loud in my house. My house is fully under construction. I'm adding 2,000 square feet in a new.
Welcome to Jammin' for a Cure 2022 and the first Indigenous Artist Showcase and Symposium. Thank you for joining us. Please meet your host and moderator. She is an international advocate for murdered or missing and exploited Indigenous peoples and their human rights, award-nominated singer-songwriter for Stephanie Harp Experience, actress and casting agent for local 2 Hollywood films. Please welcome, and sponsored by Fort McKay Group of Companies, Stephanie Harp.
Hello, everybody, and I'm so glad, and we are very honored for you to be with us here today, as this is an example of reconciliation for what is happening in this country as Indigenous peoples and all Canadians given this platform. We are very, very honored, and this is our way of gathering. To elevate and to start out the right way, we had ceremony, proper protocol was taking place, and we have with us one of our most loved and respected elders here in Edmonton and Western Canada is our Guildman Cardinal.
Hi. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you very much. I want to start by acknowledging the name of Edmonton. Amiskwati Waskahigan. That's the name given by our first peoples who entered this part of the world. And I'm so honored to be here today. I acknowledge the beautiful project that's taking place. And I want to introduce myself. First of all, my name is Guildman Cardinal. I'm a full status Big Stone Cree Nation member. And I'm so proud and honored to have 13 beautiful grandkids and carry on this work with Stephanie Harp, Lance, my nephew, my greatest role models, and collectively all of you in the audience. It's such a wonderful, wonderful time to be part of this exercise and ceremony in a respectful way. We're trying to cure cancer together collectively. Hi.
Thank you so much, Gilman. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So if you want to do land acknowledgement in your language.
Dinas komona nocht mantom no. Dinas komona mita ka mamawinto yak. Amiskwati was kahigan isikatik. Gutanigan kita sinimno kagipitagohti to oti na gohoma. Dinas komtno kahkio tamio paega nochtuma. Ikatawas sigawa au yestato. Manchusa cancer ki sikachut ikuimpahaya kogwa naskomon hi.
Thank you so much, Masicho. Hi. Thank you so much for joining us. You can go in the audience now. Oh, and your friend.
Today is a very special day for me. I wanted to pay a special acknowledgement to somebody very near and dear who we have lost a week ago. And this is really falling in line with the cure for cancer. My traditional granddaughter, Jen Ward, and my grandson, Dave, and their wonderful family. In our culture, we are quite often accepted in a traditional way, and that's how this happened. And I've been a part of their family since. So I honor Jen. The door is open. The Creator has let you in. We're going to do a very beautiful ceremony on your behalf as well. And the rest who are struggling also for the cure for cancer. Hi, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So I wanted to create this space to elevate new talents, but today I'm so honored to be joined by our professional panelists. I have in the studio here with me Lance Cardinal, and Lance Cardinal is a staple as an artist for our community, multi-dimensional performer, and entrepreneur of Soul Flame. And so honored to have you here in the studio with me, Lance. Thank you.
No problem at all. I'm so honored to be here and so excited for today to see some Indigenous artists and really celebrate who we are in such a good way. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you so much. And my dear sister, Georgina Lightning, who I love very much, is beside me every step of this journey. And Georgina is a storyteller, a filmmaker, an advocate, a strong, impactful speaker, and a woman who really moves and shakes for all kinds of change, all kinds of ways of action, and is a part of Tribal Alliance Productions. Thank you so much. Thank you, Georgina, for being here with us today. So honored. And my new friend, Stevie and I haven't talked to each other for a couple of years. I sent him a Warriors call, and he loved it. He loved it and made me feel so good about my future as an artist. So thank you for that, Stevie. So we have the incredible Stevie Salas, everybody. One of the greatest Indigenous rock stars in the world, on the planet. You've seen him through movies and television. He is a music and TV and film producer, and he has the documentary Rumble, The Indians Who Rock the World, we'll be sharing here with you today. And he's joining us where is he, in Texas? Never know where in the world you are.
Austin, Texas today.
Austin, Texas today. And so he's contributing to a lot more film and visual works, and he has a new doc coming out about Autumn Peltier, our water warrior. Please look out for that, okay? So we're gonna get started here. Really excited to share with you guys all that we have new talent here. Some people that you really haven't heard yet before. We wanted to make sure we gave you something different. You know, give you some new voices, something new and exciting to see. So we have with us, from Fort McKay First Nation, we have Bryce Fabian Jr. Bryce Fabian Jr. Was in Shell Stadium watching a Nickelback concert when Chad Kroger and the band brought him up on stage to perform with them. And he's been rocking stages ever since, and everyone's been asking, who is this new talent? He does traditional drum, he has R&B, he does rap, and I'm very, very proud of this multi-talented young man. Bryce, you want to come and join us? Really excited? Oh, yes.
I am, yes.
Absolutely. Adjust that to yourself.
There we
go. So tell us, about this song and what it's called.
The song's called Feeling Free, and I made it over the time about a month ago. I started feeling the rhythm. I started feeling the beat. And then while I was making it, I kept singing and practicing. And then this is my first composed round dance song that I've ever made. I've never done this. I'm usually writing R&B, rap, country, rock. I cover a lot of music, and I also have a lot of experience in the music. And this is actually the first time I've ever composed a round dance song.
Wonderful. And what's it called?
It is called Feeling Free.
Feeling Free by Bryce Fabian Jr. Masicho, hi. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Stay with us here. We're going to hear from everybody. Georgie, what'd you think?
Oh man, I'm all about it. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm very impressed. That's your first round dance song. Wow. Brilliant.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate
good
that.
stuff, brother.
Yes, Georgina's all about drums. That goes directly to her heart. I know that for a fact.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Stevie, what did you think? What do you think, my friend?
Yeah, I loved it, man. I was bouncing in my seat. It was rocking me. I dig it.
Right
The
on.
rhythm was great.
Right on. In the
Thank
pocket,
you,
hey,
thank
in
you.
the pocket, Stevie?
Yeah, man, for real.
What do you think, Lance?
Well, you know what? This is just so exciting to see some of our young people, really bringing their own take on our culture. I love the idea of moving forward, having people create new songs and bring new energy to it. I loved it so much, and I'm so proud of you for being brave and coming up here and
Thank
trying
you for
something new.
I
It's
really thank
awesome.
you
Yeah.
for that. Thank you so
Masicho,
much.
thank you so much. Everyone, give Bryce Fabian Jr. a hand, please.
Thank you guys. Thank you
Fort
so
McKay
much.
First Nations. Thank you so
thank
much.
you.
So go to jammingforacure.com, everybody. Go to jammingforacure.com. We want to see you on there. We want to see all your friends. Please go to your social media. Get all those pages covered. We're here for a really, really great cause that has touched every single one of us in some way. And like I'd like to say is another tribute to my dear friend, Jeff Healy, who discovered me and mentored me. And, I'm sure Stevie knows exactly who I'm talking about. And
Wait, you want to hear something crazy? I was just with Tom Stevens from the Jeff Healy Band last weekend. He was at South by Southwest. That's crazy.
oh my God, that's amazing. See the connection? See the connection. And
world.
it's amazing. It's amazing. And so, we've been here and together in this studio as we gather. You gather at home. You gather wherever you're at. Please go to the silent auction online and donate. Press that donate button. Everything helps. And we really appreciate your time, your donations, your support. And don't be shy. You make sure you come back and you join us tonight. Again, here at 5 o'clock, all right? So we have another beautiful artist, young, inspiring, beautiful artist that I've come to know of here. She has done some wonderful music on her own, writing her own music, making her own sound, and taking modern music and that beautiful Indigenous twist, and leaving her soul here on the stage with us today is Hazel Waskowicz. Thank you for joining us, my dear. She made this ribbon skirt herself with her own 2 hands. So we have a lot of cultural, beautiful spirit here today. So amazing, really, really amazing. We're very happy about that. So yeah. So she is here to share a song with us, one of her own originals. Hazel, do you want to tell us where you're from and what your song's about?
Okay. So I'm from the Onion Lake Cree Nation. I am also from the Alexis Nakota Sioux Nation. I am...
A little closer.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm 21 years old. The song I wrote is... Well, when I was younger, I used to sing a lot in the hallways, in the bathrooms at school, and everybody used to tell me to, keep it down or, stop singing. But yeah, basically the song's about that, no one can't tell me to stop singing because that's what I love doing, and it gets me through a lot. As I went through a lot as a little kid growing up, and music has helped me get through all of that. Yeah.
Thank you. What's your song called?
The song's called Got Me Singing.
All right, everybody, by Hazel Waskowicz, You Got Me Singing.
It's getting 100 degrees with this weight on my shoulders. I've been having this dream, now it's finally taking over. Trying to come away every day, I was soul search. Sick of being put down, sick of being so hurt. So watch me rise, sleepless Sleepless nights turn a restless soul into a rising star. The demons let the depression grow deep inside my heart. So let me just say this, I will keep on going till I'm making my mark. Let me master my life. Let me master my life. The more that I get to you, the harder I try. It's got me singing, ayo, 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 ayo. It's got me singing now. Try to knock me down with your heartless words. The pain goes deep, I know. No time for your doubts, I'ma live my life. Middle finger to the haters, let's go. Please hold me up with your energy. I need it for the road I chose. Just show me how you roll, then I'll show you how I roll. My spirit is changing, I'm chasing the spark. My fire is blazing, I'm facing the dark. So let me just say this, I will keep on going till I'm making my mark. Let me master my life. Let me master my life. The more that I get to you, the harder I try. It's got me singing, ayo, 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 ayo. It's got me singing now. Hi-yo, hey, hi-yo, hey, hi, hi. It's got me singing now. Hi-yo, hey, hi-yo, hey, hi, hi-yo, hey. It's got me singing now. Hi-yo, hey, hi-yo, hey, hi, hi, hi. Let me master my life. Let me master my life. Yeah, yeah. The more that I get to you, the harder I try. It's got me singing, ayo, 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 ayo. It's got me singing now. Ayo, ay, hi-yo, ay, hi, hi-yo, ay. It's got me singing now. Hi-yo, ay, hi-yo, ay, hi-yo,
Beautiful. Let's have a hand for Hazel, everyone. Wasn't that incredible?
Bravo. I love it.
That was incredible. Georgie, you got to start on this one. I can feel you from here, man. You're feeling it, aren't you?
Yeah. What a beautiful, beautiful song. And I love the way that you, like Lance said earlier, you had confidence. You came up on stage and you're performing for the world for such an amazing cause. So bravo, young one.
Thank
You're
you.
only 21 years old. You have so much future ahead of you.
Thank
Wonderful.
Yeah. No
Yeah.
need not to be brave when you have such a beautiful voice. It's like that's
Yeah.
your. As long as you know that's in your pocket, you can always walk up anywhere and lay it up. Would you say, "Show me how you roll"? I'll show you how I roll. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That was awesome. I believe you.
Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Good stuff, honey.
Yes. What do you think, Lance? What do you think, my brother?
I mean, it's so exciting to be here and watch these young people who are creating like artistry and talking about issues that are so important to our young people. And again, breaking some cycles, you know, coming up here on stage. This is actually reconciliation for ourselves as well. Seeing our young people be confident, create beautiful pieces of work and share themselves and their messaging. It's so important. So proud of you. Your song is beautiful and very honored to be here to hear that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. And is there, you have another musical project which you work with in Saskatchewan as well, isn't there?
Yeah.
You have another musical family. Can you tell us a bit about that?
My musical family? Oh, yeah. So, Nuijanan Records, they actually helped me make my first album. They gave me the opportunity to, you know, sing and travel when I was 17, turning 18, and then we decided to go to Montreal and record my first album when I was 19. So yeah, and I'll be making a new one in June, hopefully next month.
Wonderful. Look out for that. Hazel Waskowicz, everybody. Let's have a hand for this beautiful young lady. Masi Cho,
Yes.
thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's wonderful. So I just want to take this time to thank Fort McKay First Nations. I want to thank Fort McKay community. I am a member as well, and that's who I am employed with, and they support me to help support you and help our people. And so I'm really honored about that. So our non-colonial name for Fort McKay is we are the first peoples of the northern Athabasca River. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you as we're here decolonizing and empowering our own space with our own voice and all of that. So very beautiful and powerful. I'm just really feeling it in the studio here today. Aren't you all? Can I hear from you all? Yeah, yes, thank you so much. So our next performer is someone I've come to know here just last year. So my dear friend Cindy Paul told me about, oh, there's this girl, she's got this voice, and ooh-wee. You want to know someone with power? Another lady with power? Well, she has it in her song, in her voice, and in the message. And she won first place at the talent show at the Enoch here a few weeks ago. And we're just really happy to have her with us today. Donita Large, everybody. Donita Large. Thank you. You can adjust that. Yeah, thank you, Lance. So yes, I just wanted to introduce you guys all to Donita. She had recently #1 national single on the top Indigenous countdown for all of Canada. So really happy for you, and I'd like you to tell us all where you're from, what your song is about, what it's called.
Sure, absolutely. So I'm from Saddle Lake First Nation, and I have family roots also in Moose Mountain. And I decided to do Ancestors in My Bones. It's a song that I just released in November of last year. And it's a song that's a song of my heart. I've had this song within me for about 8 years. I've been doing it. But I released it because it seemed like it was the right time. And for this particular song, it's about, the ancestors within us, in our bones and in our DNA, and the strength of that. But it's also the ancestors that guide us and that are with us. And it's really meant to be an empowerment song. And so I chose this song because of this cause. I've had many people in my life who've passed on due to cancer. I lost my friend, Jen, that Gilman mentioned just recently last week. And, so I really want to sing this song for those who are still in the battle of cancer, and for the loved ones, and for those who've passed on.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Here's Donita Large, everyone, with Ancestors in My Bones.
Nuhtauinan itskisko häin. Tule myöts kaati kuihun. Nojis peit skelun. Taisen tuhtaa noin kisko. Tynoksis vastaskamme. Anotskaa iskaak minä apuiskanemnan. Min tahtoo iskaaki. Kaiskasin muunalkakin vai tuhtavaa. Se skimnaan eikä katsmaan riittämaa. Eikä teille muunalkaa majata. Tynoksia.
I feel the ancestors in my bones. They're calling me to protect my home. Mother Earth is crying for us to atone. And I do this alone. Hey-ya, 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 hey-yo. Hey-ya, 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 hey-yo. Hey-ya, 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 hey-yo. Hey-ya, 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 hey-yo. I feel the ancestors in my bones. They're calling me to protect my home. The these teachings are old, they're what we have known. We must pass them to the children before they are grown. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo. 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 Do you feel the ancestors in your bones? Are they calling you to protect your home? Don't let society fool you into doubting where you belong. Together our circle is strong. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo. Hey ya, hey ya, hey ya, hey yo. Hey ya, hey ya,
Wow. Hola. I think the ancestors are joining us down here today.
I hope so.
I think so. I really, really do. I think everyone felt that. Thank you for
you.
sharing such a beautiful gift. Georgina, what do you think, girl?
Hi. Oh man, Danita.
Yes.
You know, you always move me every time I listen to you. I first saw you on stage at a musical venue on Jasper Ave, and it was for a fundraiser as well. This was for our ancestors. The fundraiser was about our residential school, and you moved me then. And every time I listen to you, your voice is so powerful. I mean, it's just like, it's amazing. It's beautiful, and you sing with such confidence, and your lyrics are absolutely amazing. So thank you for blessing all of us with your talent and your spirit.
Oh,
It really did move me.
Thank you, Georgina. Thank you.
Yes. Stevie, my man.
That was like, you don't see too many singers that come in with like 3 octave ranges, and I don't even know that. And I was literally, you know, those old commercials when the Ella Fitzgerald would sing, the glass would break. I was like looking at my coffee cup going, oh my God. That was amazing, beautiful, and what you're singing about is important. And God, that range, man, when you came in on that last verse with the octave up, and then you took it higher, and then you took it even higher. I mean, that was mind blowing, and the power was incredible.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. Look at that love. Lance, my friend who's all about love.
I
Now,
think
Lance.
I am in love at this point, but you know what? I really like. It's so amazing to watch our beautiful Indigenous women, the leaders of our communities, talking about these important issues and sharing from their hearts. This is why we look to them to lead us, because they know what's important. She's speaking about so many important things about culture, but and more importantly, she's taking it as her own and showing us why she's so powerful. It's not just her voice, it's her message. And that reconciliation coming out of you to share with the world today is so important and powerful. So I'm very proud of you.
Hi. Thanks, Lance. Thank you so much, everyone. You know, this is such an important cause, and thanks for those who are joining online. And you know, even if you watch this later, you know, and you have that ability, you know, sometimes we don't always have the funds, but even that support and being out in the community, and if you do have the funds, please, you know, cancer research, you know, let's cure this. So, hi.
Hi, Masi Cho. Thank you so much. Let's have a hand, everybody, for Donita Large.
Woo!
Donita Large, everyone. So we're going to take this time to show you guys the trailer of a doc. This is This is a world impactful musical doc that Stevie Salas and his team made as a gift for all our people. Truly, truly, truly. And it's been all over the world. Jay Gilday did the opening here in Edmonton for the screening as well. A good friend of ours, Jay Gilday. And good choice, Stevie, by the way. Good choice. And so we're really happy and excited to show you a musical doc that has to do everything with our identity, our pride, and the truth. All right? Here we have Rumble, the Indians who rock the world.
There was a song came on the radio, a guitar instrumental, and it changed everything.
Yeah.
Link Ray, it's rock and roll.
Rumble. Yeah, that's the one.
Rumble.
Hey, Rumble.
Rumble had the power to help me say, fuck it. I'm gonna be a musician.
And then I found out that he was an Indian.
The music that we know here in the United States is fully supported by input from Native and Indigenous people.
Mr. Randy Casillo!
Randy had become one of the most influential heavy metal drummers in the world.
This is Jesse Ed Davis.
I particularly fell in love with Jesse Edwin Davis. He was with Taj Mahal, and Taj's album is what spurred me to rock more.
And here's your rocking chair lady, Mildred Bailey.
From 16 to 20 years old, that's the only thing I listened to was Mildred Bailey. I just said, I want to learn how to sing like her.
Figuring out that these people were Indians, and then we started to ask ourselves, why didn't anyone else know that?
There was this key expression, be proud you're an Indian, but be careful who you tell.
All of a sudden, I was talking about Native American issues and big-time television. And all of a sudden, everything disappeared.
From Charlie Patton to Link Ray, Robbie Robertson invented the genre. Jimi Hendrix was the best in his field. Jesse Ed Davis, everybody wanted him. Well, that's interesting, isn't it?
This has gone too long under the radar.
I want the whole world, everyone and their children to watch this doc. Stevie, tell me a little bit more about that and how, how does it make you feel every time you see that?
Well, now I appreciate it because it was such a hard film to make. But originally, I was in Canada in like 2003 or something like that, opening up for the Rolling Stones, and I met a guy called Brian Wright McLeod who was writing this book, and he was interviewing me for it. And it was about all the indigenous recorded music going all the way back to like 1908 and wax cylinders. And he started to tell me about these musicians that I knew who they all were, but I had no idea that any of them were indigenous people. And I just never knew them. Matter of fact, I'd even been playing when I was a kid, my first band was Rod Stewart, and I was playing guitar parts by a Kiowa guy named Jesse Ed Davis, who I didn't know was Kiowa. I used to just see his name on the records. I had no idea. He was playing with Elton John. He was playing with John Lennon. And I grew up checking all these guys out and hearing them and had no idea that they were indigenous. So I said, there's people in Indian country need to know about these guys, because then you can see that there's actual role models from much closer than 150 years ago. So you don't always have to go back to Sitting Bull and everybody else, right? Mm-hmm. And these guys did incredible things against incredible odds. And I just wanted people to see it, so I made a deal with PBS and Resolution Pictures, and I went on this journey to make this film. I had no idea it was going to become this thing and win Sundance, and I was nominated for an Emmy and all this other stuff that happened. I really was just trying to make a film to show indigenous people that they had some amazing people to look up to, and that if these people could do it, anybody could do it. That meant that it could be done. And so I'm super proud of it. And now it's a much bigger film than I ever imagined. Never thought I'd be all over the world showing it. We went everywhere around the world with that film, and it's still going.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's a freight train that cannot be stopped, and it shouldn't be. So I'd like to take the time to recognize also Johnny Cash. So Johnny Cash made an album dedicated to Indigenous people that was never ever played or heard by the world. And I'm hoping that one day that's something we can do. Like, you know, Jeff Healey didn't have to take the time to with Little Old Me, but he did. He did. You know, Georgina. Grandmother's Medicine is a really impactful film that you have coming out and you're going to be sharing. And can you tell us a little bit more about like what that means to you and what it means to our people to share your filmmaking?
Well, first of all, we just saw a trailer of Stevie's work on Rumble, and I got to give you hats, props. I mean, holy, that is such an amazing, beautiful film, Stevie. So it's such a huge accomplishment. And as a filmmaker, I can say I'm very proud of you for that. I mean, you showcased some amazing talent, and it was so spiritually uplifting for everybody. You know, it's really a great piece. And in speaking of that, one of the points that was made in the trailer just now is what Robbie Robertson said was, you know, be proud of who you are, but be careful who you tell. My dad, I was just telling my son, we were in a Mexican restaurant yesterday having lunch, and I said, you know, it's funny. This reminds me of my dad, because there was pictures all over the wall, and some of them looked like my father. And it's like my dad in Edmonton, as a Cree man, used to have a band, and he ended up calling it the Hombre. And why was that? Because in Edmonton, it was so hard to be Indigenous and be respected or valued or anything like that. The racism was so severe. So they made themselves look like that. They had those, you know, the big triangles sewn into their four-trail pants, so they were flared out, and they wore sombreros, and they all had mustaches. And they called themselves the hombres, and they had, you know, girls galore and, you know, standing room only kind of thing. So, you know, it was successful back then, but they couldn't be like our 21-year-old girl making a ribbon skirt and standing up with pride. You know, they had to hide back then. And so to be proud of who you are.
And film is a part of that, right?
Yes, absolutely. So it's such a lot of messages in that film, Rumble, Stevie. So brilliant work. So fast forward to Grandmother's Medicine. I got sick in January 2012, had no clue that what it was feel the ancestors in our bones, like Danita says. I had the ancestors in my bone, my blood, my mind, everything. Trauma was layered in me so severely that I got sick. And I ended up back in Edmonton. I had to face trauma and go on a healing journey, right?
Yeah.
So while I was there, I mean, I traveled all over the world because nobody knew how do you address the trauma that's in your bones? How do you address the ancestors that are in your DNA, bones, epigenetics, all that stuff? So I found out through ceremony. Actually, I just came from, my son and I are on the road right now heading to Atlanta, Georgia, but we just left South Dakota where we were at Chief Harville looking for. He's one of the people that helped me on my healing journey, and all of that's documented in Grandmother's Medicine. Yeah. And you'll see a brain, like neurologists, actually measured what ceremony does to your brain before and after my healing journey. And it's going to hopefully change the world of healing for everybody and just change the aspect that we understand instead of turning on and accepting the pharmaceutical drugs that are pushed down on us when we get sick. Hopefully people turn towards the pipe. They turn towards our elders and our ancestors, all the songs and the ceremonies and everything that matters, because that healed me 3 different times when medication was supposed to be the cure-all. It was ceremony that helped me, and Chief Harville is a huge part of that.
Thank you.
He's the keeper of the major bundle, right? So all of that you'll see in Grandmother's Medicine. So
Can't wait
for that to come out. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
I just want everyone to know about that. That's coming out here really soon. And Lance, can you tell us what's coming up for you as well?
Well, you know what? It's really cool for me because right now as an artist, I've had amazing opportunities here in Edmonton to bring more of our culture forward in a good way, to bring some of my design work with the Edmonton Oilers or with IKEA Edmonton here. But more importantly, my mural work as an artist. It's so important for me to create images and to share who we are in a good way. The beauty of our people, the traditional ways, the way we look at the world, the 7 sacred teachings, these things that are so important for people to know about us, to change the narrative of who we are, to break those stereotypes, and really to start at the ground up. Like my mom always said to me, remember where you're standing first. That's where you should start with how you approach the world. And so I do. I look at what's beautiful about our people, what's traditionally good about our people, and I share that through my art. And so I have some amazing opportunities coming up soon, here in Edmonton, some mural work and some opportunities to work with some amazing companies. Very, very exciting.
Yeah, and us working together.
Absolutely,
as well.
babe.
Absolutely. So with all of that, does anybody have any questions for our professional panel? Anybody have a question? You do? Michael, please, my friend.
I'm just a member of the crew, but
You helped me put this together. Don't you dare do that.
I wanted to ask all of you. Typically, the mantra is for artists is, well, if I'm going to do country and I'm going to try and grow what I'm doing, I'm going to go to Nashville. I'm just curious to know, in terms of Indigenous artists, are there hotspots, places where it is really thriving for filmmakers, for musicians, for artists to go? Like, example, the destinations in the past for many have been like New York or LA. So based on what you see, do Indigenous artists, when they run into you, say, where do I go? Like, is there some place I should be if I'm really going to advance what I want to do?
Who's taking it first?
Okay. So as for film, Sundance has always had the Native program for filmmakers. So a lot of our stars that are actually on lists of awards everywhere, like Taika, Sterling, and Sierra, they all are babes from Sundance Native program. So I've got to give.
Sorry, Daryl, we're just ahead of time.
Sorry. So give some thanks and gratitude to Sundance for the direction they've given filmmakers there. There's other film festivals, but I think Sundance is the majority support for that. Now in Canada, we have Indigenous Screen Office, which is Jesse Wenty. So now there's actually funding for Native storytellers. So ISO is the place to go for Indigenous people for support once they know how to write a script and produce content. And then for music, I'm going to give that to you, Stevie, because when I was in music, there was no support anywhere. You were on your own, I mean, we were all great, we were all on our own, scratching the pavement by ourselves. So, I'm not sure if there's a support.
Well, I'll tell you stages real quick. So with music for me, I was living on the beach in San Diego. My father was in the Marine Corps, and so I grew up in Oceanside, California. And when I wanted to make it music, I made it about as far as I could in San Diego, and I moved to LA. And I really slugged it out in LA. I met Georgina Lanyon in LA. A lot of us were in LA. I went to New York and lived in New York. I lived in London, England. I went where it was because what you wanted to do, at least what I wanted to do, was I was never interested in being the most famous Native American guitarist. I just wanted to be the best guitarist in the world, regardless of what color anybody was. And so I went up to where everybody was, and I went up and I wanted to break into that. And I was really lucky, and I got in, and once I got discovered by George Clinton and Funkadelic and those guys, and I produced a weird band called Was Not Was. Next thing out of the blue, we had a #1 record, which was just a fluke. And then I scored a movie called Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure that I was in, and then that became giant. And I joined Rod Stewart's band, and I got a recording contract, and then I never looked back. But I spent all my time. I'd go home, or I'd go to like in Rumble. When you see Rumble, I talk about I'd go to Indian country with guys like Randy Castillo, to get balance. So I was losing my marbles, traveling all over the world, being crazy and having fun, though, by the way. And then I would come back to Indian country, balance out. I go back to New York or LA or London or wherever I was going to do what I was doing. Now, when I started getting into television and producing TV, that was kind of an accident. I went to Winnipeg to mix an album, and I'd already sold a few million albums by this point, played with Mick Jagger and Justin Timberlake and all these different people. And I was mixing an album, and a woman from APTN Television came up to me at the studio and wanted to meet me because I was indigenous and I'd done all these things. I was working at American Idol and blah, blah, blah. And she said, if you could do your own TV show, what would you do? And I said, well, I pitched this idea of Arbor Live, which was these three Native guys who don't know what the heck they're doing. And we do this show, and everyone's on the show, and we don't know what we're doing. It's chaos. And she says, okay. And next thing I know, before I knew it, they was like, okay, well, here's a bunch of money. Go do it. And all of a sudden it hit me like, I have no idea what I'm doing. So, you know, I called my friend, called Adam Beach, and I probably talked to Georgie for advice, and Jesse Green and these different guys. And I went up into Winnipeg and I just started doing it. And I did 3 seasons of Arbor Live, which really taught me a lot about a lot of stuff I knew nothing about. And once I got hooked on the TV thing, it was exciting for me. I didn't know what I was doing. It was fun. I called on all my rock star friends to be on the show. That's why there's so many famous people on it. And they helped me out. And then I went on to produce Rumble. Now I have a film company on Six Nations, because Georgie's right. If you're in Canada, you get a lot more support when you're a filmmaker than you do in America. Americans are definitely all about entrepreneurship, and everybody's like, how much money can you make me? That's all they care about. Where in Canada, you know, you have a lot of development, and APTN has been a great help to me. And now I have a film company on Six Nations, Seeing Red Six Nations. Our latest film, The Water Walker, just made its debut last week on Crave, which is like HBO Canada, Autumn Peltier's film that we made. And, you know, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. So for me, Canada, I work in LA. I'll be in LA tomorrow on Monday or Tuesday, but, you know, but Canada's where I go for developing film and working and finding, for me, the most support. So I think you're in a good spot.
Wonderful. Thank you. Lance, can you tell us about you as a performer and your multi-dimensional performance in Prettier Woman? You got a hit show here in Edmonton right now. The Lightning Family's got Bear Grease. They're on the road, right? So, but you know, they got that going on. But Lance, can you tell us how was it doing all of that live and demanding and changing, and just how do you do that?
Well, you know what? It's going back to who we are, right? So the question is, where do we get support? How do we find support as Indigenous artists? I always say, go home first. Go back to your community, talk to your parents, your family, your elders, get connected in ceremony again, get earthed, get grounded, and find those roots, and then go out in the world. You know, for me, you know, I'm a pretty contemporary Indian. You know, I have a Nike on one foot and a moccasin on the other, and I like living that way. And so I really think that it's important for us, you know, to use our modern technologies. I use, you know, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those online services to really, you know, share who I am with our own people. That's what's important. Get support from our own people. Go, you know, online and share with Indigenous communities what you're doing. Show how, you know, how proud you are of what you're doing. You know, I have my own YouTube channel now where I share culture, you know, with different people all over the world. But what's important to me in that is finding ways to bridge those gaps between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people, to find ways to connect our communities together through the arts. And so we reach out to our non-Indigenous brothers and sisters too, and reach out to our Indigenous brothers and sisters and find ways to relate. You know, for me, it's a lot of hard work and pushing forward, facing those demons we all face every day, especially with lateral violence in our communities, especially with feeling like we're not worthy as Indigenous people sometimes. Those are hard things to overcome. But with prayer, I think, you know, and asking for guidance from our elders and our spiritual leaders, we can find ways to be successful in our own way, in our authentic voice way, and to always trust the Creator's path for ourselves.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. We want to also address, you know, what's going on right now, okay? So we have over 10,000 children being found from ground penetrating radar from the residential school genocide. And, you know, we're living in strategic oppression. We're living in, you know, strategic racism. And when we said the word genocide, you know, we meant it. And this is the truth. This is the truth. And people think that this is historical things, but it is not historical. This is webbed and weaved into every social structure as an Indigenous person that you live in every day. So here we are showing our unity. And here Production World is giving us this platform. Here we have non-Indigenous people donating all their time. This staff This staff has been wearing themselves weary, but loving what they do, but giving us their all, And so that is speaks amounts like you wouldn't believe right now, because what we need is patience, what we need is understanding, but what all people, and especially Canadians, need is truth. And that's the truth. So with that, we need you to be patient, understanding, kind. Please come to us with proper protocol of tobacco and ask us questions. Have us in your space. Have us come out to educate you in truth. Lived, experienced people are very, very important to give you that truth. Wherever you go in the world, if you want to know what's happening in the country, you go to the poor and oppressed to find truth. And that's how the world is going right now. But here we are together and showing that example of unity. Yes. Yeah.
Great point, Steph.
Someone want to say something? Georgina, I know you want to add on that. Go ahead, sweetheart.
No, I just said great points you're making, Steph. We're talking about reconciliation, and in the production world, how much inclusivity that Edmonton actually is starting to have. At the Fringe Festival this year, after 45 years, they've had Indigenous inclusivity. My company programmed 8 different acts on the main stage, and then Bear Grease had their debut at the Fringe, and it sold out with the first show actually to sell out within about an hour, and had extended performances after that all sold out as well. And I just saw Lance's show. Lance, if we're talking about reconciliation, there was a Caucasian woman. I mean, there's 3 different nationalities in this beautiful, awesome, hilarious musical. I enjoyed myself so much at your show, Lance. I really enjoyed it. And it had nothing to do with being Indigenous. He just got to be the brilliant talent that he is, singing and dancing and just, performing on stage. And that was so amazing. So, Lance, hats off to you.
Thank you so much.
You and your team. It was so fun to watch. I think that was probably the best time I've had in 2 years since COVID. Us girls, we had a girls' night out. We got to go watch you. And it was the best night I've had out in a couple of years since COVID started. I mean, it was so fun. So, I loved it.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Georgina. That's incredible. Thank you.
Of course.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I will add this, you guys. I just think that for a minute there, if we're pushing ourselves into a corner and we're starting to see color first as opposed to the color of someone's heart, whether they're a good person or a bad person.
Yes.
I think we're heading for trouble. I don't see color. I see good people and I see bad people. And I want to surround myself with the best people. And I've had amazing people help me in so many ways. Indigenous people, English people, people from New York. And I've met a lot of jerks too, So I really don't want to get in a position where we're all starting to say like, we have to do this, we have to do that, we have to do that. I want to find ways to make everyone have more experience. And if I can learn more, I feel like I'm working with a director right now named Robert Stromberg, who got the Academy Award for Avatar, and he directed Maleficent with Angelina Jolie. The things I learned from him in a month, I couldn't learn in 5 years of trying to figure it out on my own, So surround yourself with the greatest people. I mean, when I was with Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones, I learned so much from Mick Jagger that I could never just learn in a school. So just try to find yourself the best people that are also the best human beings and help them listen and learn from them. And let's try not to just see people for the color of their skin, because I think that'll end up backfiring on everybody.
That's absolutely right. And here we are talking about reconciliation, change, and addressing truth. Can you tell us more about Autumn Peltier, Doc Stevie?
Well, that's another example. I find that the reason that there's a lot of problems in the Indian country, and it's not this simple, but I think a lot of people just have no idea what the hell's going on. They just don't know. They just assume it's just like the book they read as a kid, right? That everything's like that. And so I found with Rumble, the biggest thing I got around the world was people who would say to me, I had no idea. Well, I get that, because when Brian Wright McLeod told me the story, I had no idea, and I'm Apache. So I was like, well, so what about making films that would educate people and make them aware of issues? Water issues is a big problem in North America and in Canada, especially on the res. So instead of marching or yelling and screaming or just walking in social media picture with my fist in the air, I said, I'm going to start figuring out how to show people these issues and create solutions. And so I make a film that's about to inspire you. And then you get the message by watching the film, and then it causes you to understand that there is an issue without you having to feel guilty about it or feel bad or me telling you you're a jerk because of it. And so Autumn was this woman I met, a young girl I met, and she was really young when I met her. And I just said, how come nobody knows about this amazing young woman? She's so inspiring.
Incredible.
For any young woman, for any young kid, she, let alone Indigenous kid, she walks her own path and she does her own thing and she gets her work done, and it's a tough job she does, and she's really inspiring. And I noticed she was speaking in Monaco, and she received an award from Prince Philip, and I was in Canada, and there was not one write-up about this girl that was like, that didn't make sense to me. So I said, we need to make a documentary about Autumn Peltier and inspire young people about this young girl that's doing amazing things. And so we made a doc about her on her way to the United Nations to speak. And she's with Greta, and she's with all these other people that she's been traveling with for years. And she went to Switzerland at Davos. She's speaking to the prime minister, and she's speaking to titans of industry. And I just said, I want the world to know about this young girl. So we made a film called The Water Walker. And then in it, we cut in these Christy Belcourt's art, and we animated it and brought it to life. And we had Graham Greene do this narration over it. And it's just, to me, it's really beautiful. And I'm really, really proud that it's on HBO Canada now and on Crave.
Wonderful, everybody. I want you to check that out. But most of all, Grandmother's Medicine, I really want you to check that out. It's going to be releasing soon. And also Rumble. Rumble made me feel a deeper connection to the music that helped me heal as a child. So music was my first friend, my first confidant, my first escape, my first whisk away of dream. Okay, and I used to sit there all the time, Stevie and Georgie and Lance. I'd sit there, I'd put on Janis Joplin. Summertime, time shines, living's easy. Right? So, as a 10-year-old little kid, trying to find myself, my identity, and my soul. So I will, music will be with me forever. Music is with me forever, and I'm sure with all of you. And with the last couple of years, I think we need it more than ever, don't you guys think?
Sure.
I think so.
1,000%.
I think so too. So with music brings unity, and here we are talking about how we need each other, and we see what's going on in the world right now. And let me tell you, we should be led by love. May we all be led by love. May we all find a place of peace to find our true humanity. And we can all get there, but we got to get there. And we got to do this journey together. Okay.
Yeah, the Beatles weren't kidding, right? All we need is love.
That's right. That's right. That's right. I love that, And so that's what we wanted to show here. That's what we wanted to share with you all. And so now we have some more. Anybody have any more questions for our panel? Anybody have their hand up? You guys all good? They taught you lots? They taught you lots? Kate, Colleen, did you want to come up?
Can I just tell you something?
Sure.
Something?
Yeah.
Whenever I do something in Indian country, dead silence on the questions. Everyone's so shy. Finally go, come on. And then once they get going, it's like, woo.
Oh yeah. I get that all the time when I go and speak. Sometimes we got our people, hey, don't be shy. Don't be shy. Colleen, would you like to share?
Yeah, Danse. Colleen McDonald, Nizzy Gustin. Good to see you here today. I just have a question for the young people who are thinking of maybe pursuing a career in the arts or the movies and film, and even arts comes in many forms, whether it's music and so forth. If we could send a strong message to our young people of today in terms of, maybe not giving up, or I guess maybe for each and every one of the panelists, what sort of advice would you give to our young people rising up? Hi.
Lance, you want to start on that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you know what? It's such an amazing time for our young people to be artists these days. There's so many opportunities to share who we are online, to use these modern technologies to really elevate who we are and share who we are. My advice is, like I've done my career, explore all sorts of artistic endeavors. I've explored dancing, singing, acting, puppetry, production, directing, artistry, all sorts of things. And I think it's important for us to find our voice as Indigenous people, especially for our youth. They are the ones who right now are turning the corner for us, for bringing us to the next level, this new world of reconciliation. It's self-guided. It's inspired by our young people who want change so badly. And, so we have to support those ideas. So for them, I just say go for it. Always go back to your elders. Find out where you're from. Find your roots and look to those roots to really inform your work. And look for the beauty of yourself, the confidence of who you are, and then share that with the world. It's really important.
Thank you so much. Georgina, what do you think for the youth?
I think, a lot of times it's being in the right place at the right time. You got to put yourself out there. You got to get out of your comfort zone. So anything that's going on in town, and if it showcases what it is that you're dreaming about, whether it's filmmaking or music or poetry or painting or puppetry or any of the other art forms, modeling, whatever, put yourself in that position. Put yourself there and get out of your comfort zone. And also, I do agree with what Lance says. When you're an artist, exercise every single aspect of art. Sometimes, I went to National Academy of Songwriters as part of my thing when I was at Musicians Institute, because what I had learned was musicals, right? I was at the Alberta Conservatory and I trained my voice classically. Mm-hmm. So when I got into the American Academy, it was all about musicals back then. So I'm right at like Lance and I should be working together, right? Doing these musicals, and Bear Grease is right up my alley. And then I got into rock and roll, and I was just like, that was my thing. I was a lead singer in a rock band, and I had to place myself there. There was no sign saying, hey, any females that want to be rock singers, come stand over here. You have to commit to what it is you want. I wanted to be a rock singer, and I wanted to be the lead rock singer and write my own original material. And I had to put myself there, and I had to get musicians to get behind me and believe in me. And Randy Castillo was one of my drummers. We played on Johnny Depp's stage at the Viper Room, with Rob Thrall and Louis Ruiz, like
LA
really
scene.
Awesome players. Yeah, and John Trudell was on stage, Floyd Westerman. I mean, we had some amazing players
my
back
God.
then when I was doing the music scene for a while, right? So it ended with getting an invitation to go on tour with Neil Young. It's like, do you want to join us and go on this 52 venue tour? And I was like, hang on a minute. Stuff got real all of a sudden. And I was a mom of 3 kids. So can I go on tour? And it took me a bit, and I had to think about it, and I couldn't do it back then. So, do it while you're young. Be that 21-year-old, make your own ribbon skirt, get out there and live and do what put yourself in that place. Say yes. Eckhart Tolle, be in the power of yes, right? And put yourself there. Put yourself where you want to be. It's your right to do that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Stevie, what do you think? What do you have to say to our youth?
Well, she was spot on. When you're young, you can go do all these things and take chances. I waited till I was 40 years old to become a parent, and I would have been a real crappy dad if I would have had kids in my 20s or 30s, because I was all over the planet. So I really agree with that. When you're young, is the time to go out there and just go for it. I'm going to tell you, there's going to be a million people that all they're ever going to tell you is no, and all they're ever going to say is that you're not good enough. And the hardest thing to do is to figure out who's just doesn't know who is full of shit and who might be correct. I've had people tell me, right after I got signed to Island Records, I got the biggest recording artist a kid ever got at Island Records when I got my contract. And I had a guy called Tony Berg, a pretty big producer, tell me, he listened to my songs. He goes, have you ever read a book? And my first instinct was to say, go to hell, dude. I was in a bidding war. Who are you? But I really thought about it, and I knew he was smart. And I decided I better maybe just shut my mouth and listen to this guy. So there's going to be people always that are negative, but there's going to be ones that are going to give you constructive criticism. It's up to you to figure out who's ill and who's full of it. A lot of people surround themselves with the people that are their friends or tell them how great they are. And that's a fast way to the toilet, you know? So find out who's really great. And then when you're a songwriter, write all the songs you can, but figure out who's writing better songs and listen to what they're doing and really study their techniques. I find a lot of people in Indian country, especially, they make a record and they don't go work with the best possible people they can, and they have enough money to if they just actually called the person and said, hey, do you want to do this? Because you'd be surprised what people will say. Look at Rumble. I mean, Steven Tyler, all these guys, Slash, everyone's in it. I just called them and they said, yeah. So reach for the stars of the people you really want to work with before you settle for less, and then study the greats and really try to figure out what they're doing. And don't surround yourself with yes men. Surround yourself with people that you know are really smart and follow advice.
Wonderful. Thank you, Lance.
Yeah, I mean, I love what he's saying, and I think that's really, really important to hear, is to surround yourself with those people you are looking at becoming, that you are aspiring to be. You know, like if you see someone who has that career in as a musician, you want, you know, study how they got there, see what they're about, how they approach the world. And I know today we have Daryl Breton Jr. here who's performing for us, and he is one of those youth that I am absolutely inspired by. One of those people who goes for everything with 100%. He jumps in all the way with all of his passion, all of his heart, and does, you know, he breaks all the molds of what people expect of him. And of course, you know, he is one of those overachievers. So like Daryl, you know, jump into whatever you want to do. Like Georgina said, as hard as you can. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Do it from your own heart. It'll always pay off.
That's right. That's right. So Stevie Salas was just talking about stars. Speaking of stars, I'd like to introduce my dear, dear friend, just to come up here and say hi, because, you know, me and her have been working on, you know, our own little reconciliation, our own message. She's a wonderful humanitarian. She's a very, very strong ally, and she's a woman that just wants to see better for this world. And, you know, I've been inspired by her for a very, very long time and had the honor to do a show together. And you want to come over? Miss Darby Mills, everybody, of the Darby Mills Project, legendary Canadian rock legend singer. Come over here and come say hello. And this is Stevie Salas. There's Georgina Lightning and Lance Cardinal. And just thank you for being here with us. And if you just wanted to say hello.
Hi, Steph. I made it. Hi, everybody. Nice to meet you. Finally, wonderful.
Hey.
Been listening for the last, 45 minutes. I got here, and wonderful information. And you're right. Just do it. Don't listen to the no's. Yeah. Just go do it, and you'll find your path if you just, you know, believe in yourself. The hardest thing to do, believe in yourself. But that's definitely a big part of moving forward, no matter what obstacles are in front of you. But anyway. Hey, we'll be here later. I'll be here later with Stephanie tonight. I'm going to hand this back to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Such an honor. Such an honor to have a Canadian legend here with us tonight as well with the Stephanie Harp Experience. So right now, I'd like to introduce my dear, dear friend, I did start the Indigenous Men and Boys Support Group about 3 years ago. He donated his time. He gave our men healing, and he gave our men space and traditional knowledge. He's someone that I go to, a strong young Indigenous man from Saddle Lake Cree Nation, investor, impactful entrepreneur. He's on fire right now with his apps and the company. Yeah, he's doing wonderful things and connecting our people. And one of the most honorable and impactful and amazing men's fancy bustle dancers, Daryl Breton Jr., everyone. Daryl Breton Jr. Yeah, he's ready to go. He's ready to go.
There you are. Now I screwed it all up.
Joe,
two
hi,
double-decker
hi.
tacos?
Thank you so much. Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to share? And you want to say anything to any kids who are inspiring, wanting to dance? And just thank you for bringing us Creator and our ancestors to us here today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Kind of out of breath. They say the men's fancy bustle is where aerobics originated. I'll be in tip-top shape. So that McDonald's this morning didn't help. But listening in the background as I was getting ready, really, really impactful individuals that we have. Lance Cardinal and everybody else a part of this. Jamming for a Cure. Really inspiring. Everybody's really, really good at what they do. And the best thing, we're all Indigenous. And I want to share this for the youth that might be a young parent like myself. I'm 23 years old, I have a 5-year-old, and I have a 2-year-old about to be 3 in May. And if it wasn't for my children, I wouldn't be the responsible young man that I am today. I wouldn't be in the position that I am today. I wouldn't be as a high achiever or trying to go after these goals and dreams and everything. Because some people, it's just a different perspective. And it goes back to like mindset. Okay, I'll wait till my children are done school, then I'll do this. But then it's like, as a parent, am I teaching my children to wait to go after their goals and dreams? Or do I want to teach my children, no matter what obstacle, no matter what you're overcoming, no matter what adversity you're facing, you can go out there, you can go after your dreams, you can go after your goals. So I want to share that with everybody here today. Hi, hi.
Thank you. Hi, hi. Masi Cho. Can we have a hand for Daryl, everybody? All right, all right. Well,
can you send me that track, man? I want that music. Send me that music, please.
Okay, I'll make sure I do that for you, Stevie. Again, just want to say thank you, Masi Cho, hi, hi. Thank you for joining us here. I know you two are, all three of you are so very, very busy, but stay safe, be well, stay empowered, and thank you for all the gifts you give and inspiring all of us every single day. Would you like to say a little goodbye, Georgie?
I feel so blessed for having been a part of this. Daryl, I love you. You are such a beautiful human being. I love watching you online. I can't wait to see where you're going to be in 5 years from now and in 10 years from now. And I'm about you, brother. I'm about that. I was a young mom, and if it wasn't for my daughter, Crystal, I never would be who I am. If it wasn't for my sons, William and Cody, they give me purpose in life. And they're why I had to fight 10 times harder and 10 times faster and 10 times greater, I had zero behind me. So my children were my world. They gave me the strength, they gave me the power and energy to conquer anything and everything because I had to prove a point, and I had children to feed. I had to make stuff happen. Sorry, I was going to say that word. I had to make stuff happen. So I'm about you, Daryl. Everybody's got their own path. It's all different. I respect and appreciate everybody's journey is different. And yes, it's a good thing you waited, Stevie.
Yeah.
I met you in Hollywood, bro. And yes, wild times back in Hollywood. But yes, we all have our own journey. And, thank goodness that we just have to keep believing in ourselves no matter what path we take, right?
Yes.
Just keep believing in ourselves no matter what journey we take. But thank you for having me here. I love you all. And I think the message is believe in yourself and go for it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so
Hi,
much.
hi.
Love you. Thank you, Georgina. Stevie.
Yeah, I agree completely with all of that because I tell people all the time, they see my life on social media or see me all over the world and doing all these crazy things I get to do. And I constantly post pictures of with my son doing things, and I do it for a reason. I tell people that, if you neglect your children and you're out trying to be a baller, you can never truly be successful. Yeah. You cannot ignore that responsibility. But if you take care of that responsibility, your energy gets better, everything gets better. So I agree with you. If you've taken on that responsibility of being a parent, you need to focus and be a great parent, and all those other things will come true for you still. You cannot be a baller and have your kids be suffering. It just doesn't work. And I'm going to leave you with a message I think is true, is that anything is possible. Anything is possible. Anything. Which a lot of people think like, oh, well, that doesn't happen for guys like me. That's bullshit. Anything is possible. And I always say, don't give up on your dream, because that day you give up might be the day before that dream comes true. So I'll leave you with that.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. Masicho, hi. Lance, any last words?
You know what? I'm just going to mirror what everyone else already said. Never give up on trying to find that dream. I come from a small community of 500 people. We had no running water. We had barely any power and heat in our home, and I really believed in what I was going to do. So it doesn't matter where we come from. It's how much you put into it, your heart, your passion. Believe it's going to happen. See it. Pray for it through the Creator. Have an authentic voice and trust the path the Creator has made for you.
Thank you so much.
Visualize. That's right. I wrote a book, and I realized when I was writing a book, I used to visualize about everything that ended up happening. You got to visualize, focus, and see it. Yeah.
When we were the boys.
Yeah.
Do I know my stuff or not, Stevie?
Yeah, but just kids under 18 to read it. It's a rock and roll memoir.
Yeah, they need to know about that book. So yes, thank you all for joining us here at Production World, from our wonderful team, to our wonderful staff, and to be at this table, to be at this platform is such an honor. I just wanted to leave with you all. We all have a raging fire within us. Just share your warmth and watch everything beautiful in the world thrive. Hi, Masicho. Thank you. Take care of yourselves. Please come back and join us here tonight, Jamming for the Cure. It is rock night. All right? Okay, jamminforacure.com, online auction. Donate, share for a great cause. We're raising money here for cancer. And, just make sure that you lead yourselves in love. Okay, take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Love you guys.
See you later.
Love y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Sound right, boy. It sound right, boy.